All right, let's get right into it. There is a massive shift happening in the world of online shopping. And believe it or not, it all started with an app you probably scroll through every day. You might not know its official name just yet, but trust me, you are already feeling its effects.
So, get a load of this number. That is 500 billion yuan. In US dollars, that's around 70 billion. Now, to put that into perspective, that is more than the entire annual revenue of a retail giant like Target. And this was all generated in just 1 year, back in 2020, by the e-commerce side of a single app, Douyin, which you know as the Chinese version of TikTok. What's even crazier? Their original goal for that year was less than a quarter of that number. Insane.
So that brings us to the big question, right? How on earth did an app that was built for watching, 15-second dance videos suddenly become one of the biggest retailers on the planet? Well, the answer is a totally new way of thinking about how we buy things online.
And here it is. It's called interest e-commerce. TikTok's parent company ByteDance actually coined the term back in 2021. And the core idea is simple, but it is so profound. Instead of just waiting for you to search for something you already need, it uses fun, entertaining content to make you want things you never even knew you wanted. It's literally creating demand out of thin air.
Now, to really wrap our heads around how big of a deal this is, let's just step back for a second. Into the physical world. I promise, this little analogy is going to make everything click. When you really think about it, all shopping boils down to one of two things, right? Sometimes we shop for stuff we absolutely need, and other times we shop for stuff we simply want. It's kind of like the difference between doing a weekly grocery run and just browsing for fun on a Saturday. And this pretty much sums up the two kinds of physical retail. You've got Walmart, which is the ultimate efficiency model. You go in with a list, you grab what you need, and you get out. It's all about fulfilling needs. But the shopping mall? That's totally different. It's an experience model. It's an entertainment spot that's designed for you to just wander, to discover, and to spark wants that you didn't even have when you walked through the door.
Okay, so keep that analogy in mind. Now let's bring it back to the digital world, because this is where things get really, really interesting.
This is it. This is the single most important sentence you need to understand. For the last 20 years, e-commerce has been about one thing. You go online and you search for a product. Interest e-commerce completely flips that upside down. Now the product finds you.
And this table just lays it all out so clearly. Look at traditional e-commerce. Let's call it display e-commerce, like Amazon. It's all built around that search bar. It's rational. You need something, you search for it, you buy it. You're fulfilling a need. But now look at the interest EC column. The model is the product finds you. Your motivation is all about wants, not needs. It's impulsive. It's based on discovery in your video feed. And the best part? The traffic doesn't come from expensive ads. It comes from the engaging content itself.
So how exactly does the product find you? Well, it's not actually magic, but it sure can feel like it. The secret is this incredibly sophisticated technology that knows what you like. Sometimes, even better than you know yourself. And that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? How does an app you use for a bit of fun suddenly start showing you things that you instantly feel like you have to have? Well, it's all about a completely different way of thinking about recommendation engines. Okay, here's the secret sauce. Traditional algorithms on sites like Amazon, they look at you, the user. They see what you've bought before. So if you bought dog food, they'll show you more dog food, maybe a dog leash. But Douyin did something revolutionary. They decided to stop analyzing the user and start analyzing the content itself. And this is how it works. First, when a video gets uploaded, their AI scans and tags everything in it. And I don't just mean objects like a red sweater. It tags themes like home renovation and even the mood, like relaxing or high energy. Then, it shows that video to a small test group. After that, it measures everything: views, shares, how many people rewatched it. And finally, once it figures out who loves this content, it finds millions of other people who are just like them and pushes the video out to their feeds. And this change is everything. It's a move away from just looking at your purchase history, and instead it taps into your emotional world. What makes you happy, what you're curious about. And because of that, it can uncover these hidden desires, things you want, but maybe you haven't even thought about it consciously yet. Let me give you a perfect example of this. So let's say you love watching cute dog videos, but you don't even own a dog. The old algorithm would just show you ads for pet supplies, which is useless. But the new algorithm understands the feeling behind why you're watching. Maybe you're dreaming of a different lifestyle. So instead of a dog bowl, it might show you a video for a real estate agent selling homes with big backyards. It connects that emotional want to a totally different product. It's genius. So we've got the concept, we've got the technology, but what does this actually mean for brands out there? How is this changing the game for them?
Well, let's look at a quick real-world example.
So, this company is called Three Squirrels. They're a really popular snack brand over in China. And they were doing pretty well on traditional e-commerce sites, but they ran into a problem, a really common problem for a lot of brands today.
Here's what was happening. Basically, all of their sales were coming from just a couple of huge, very expensive influencers. So people were buying the snacks, yeah, but not because they loved the Three Squirrels brand. They were buying them because their favorite influencer told them to. The brand itself was kind of invisible, and they just couldn't build that direct connection with their customers.
So they switched it up. They started doing their own live stream shows on Douyin. And the results? They were just staggering. This number, 182 million yuan, that's what they sold during just one holiday shopping festival, all from their own channels. That's over 25 million US dollars. It blew past what the big influencers were selling for them, and now they were finally building their own massive, loyal fan base. So, does this mean that traditional e-commerce is dead? Is Amazon going away? No, not at all. The future is definitely a hybrid of both. We're still going to use display e-commerce for our needs, for toilet paper and batteries. But for our wants, for things like our hobbies, fashion, food, travel, we're going to discover and buy those things more and more through the world of interest e-commerce. The two models are going to live side by side.
And that really leaves us with one last big question to think about. As that line between scrolling for fun and scrolling to shop gets blurrier and blurrier until it basically disappears, will every single brand, no matter what it is they sell, have to become a content creator first and a retailer second? That's the new world that interest e-commerce is building as we speak.